Okay, we gotta talk about A Million Lies Book Festival because I don't like seeing all of these adorable little new indie authors get scared from doing in-person events because of this entire fiasco. I'm an indie author. My lifeblood for continuing my series is in-person events. And having done over 20 events in the last year alone, I have seen the magical, the mediocre, and the money grabs. So first, let's go over the green flags and then the red flags before you book your next event. First green flag is a transparent and responsive organizer. These organizers communicate you from the start. They communicate setup ahead of time. They tell you where you need to go. They give you information on hotels, and they are always there to answer your questions. The next green flag is their focus on attracting attendees and not just vendors. Running ads, partnering with bookstores, offering panels, signings, influencers are involved. Those are signs that you have a good event because they are trying to draw people in and not just vendors. Number 3 is reasonable fees that reflect the scope. Most brand new events are going to have a table fee between $25 and $50. But if this event comes at you saying it is a $350 table fee and they have absolutely no way to back attendance or marketing, that's a not so much. Great events have realistic fees based on location and projected attendance that they can back up even if they are a new event. Which brings me to the next one. New does not always mean scammy. Because let's be clear, first-time events can absolutely be done right. There's a local fantasy company called the Black Cat Fantasy Co. that I did their first ever event before they even established Black Cat Fantasy Co. They had the passion, they had the hustle, they had the marketing, and they did a fantastic job. Sold out event, knocked it out of the park. So don't dismiss an event just because it hasn't been tested yet. Which brings me to the next one, which is endorsed by the community. Word of mouth from other authors, vendors, other people in the community who can vouch for the organizer, that is the best way to know that an event is going to be legit. Now let's go into the red flags, and if you were part of the A Million Lies Book Festival, some of these are probably going to be recognized because I was recognizing them as more people were talking about it. High fees with vague promises. You guys saw me earlier this year talk about another fantasy company in Georgia that was charging $350 in vending fees and wanted us to provide the freebies for their VIP gift bags, but was only giving us 3 hours to sell our merchandise and our books. That's over $600 before gas, hotel prices, food, all of that. That is probably a scam. Or it's just some people trying to take advantage of first-time indie authors. So if pricing feels steep and they don't have a detailed breakdown as to why they're doing that, it's probably a red flag. Next one is no emphasis on attendee turnout, meaning if you go to their social media platforms or their web of sites and all you see is them calling for vendors and not trying to get attendees in the door, that is a red flag. Because if only sellers show up at the event, then you're sitting in an awkward circle trying to sell to your peers, and that nobody wants to do that. Number 3 is poor communication and moving goalposts. If you are chasing down basic information for setup, for hotels, for anything in regards to the event from your coordinator, that is a huge red flag. And if info keeps changing without explanation, another red flag. This is a big sign that your organizer is disorganized and potentially setting you up for a disaster of an event. Number 4 is no past history or visible plan. As I said earlier, first-time events do not always mean scammy, but if this event has no social presence, no community backing, no people out there shouting from the rooftops that they are excited for this, don't do it. Number 5, and this is something I did notice with people who signed up for A Million Lies Book Festival, is overloaded with upsells. If events are trying to nickel and dime you and asking you to pay an additional fee just to attend on top of your table fee, that shows that that event is all about profit and not about you. A good event will have that all included in your table fee, aside from electricity or ones that are very clear that you need to bring your own table and setup. Like I said, I have done over 20 events in the last year, and I have had my fair share of failed events and events that didn't go well and made me sit there and go, why did I even unpack my books? But do not let one bad event scare you off from doing in-person events. So trust the green flags, be wary of the red flags, and do not be afraid to ask your coordinator a million questions. Because your time, your stories, and your passion deserves to be more than a table at somebody else's cash grab. And lastly, if you are an author that has been to an event that has just been so amazing anywhere in the country, in the world, please comment it down below so new indie authors who are trying to get out there after this horrible fiasco are encouraged to go check them out. And if you want to read this entire post more in depth, please go check out my web of sites. I did an entire blog post.